Hello my fellow YouTubers, hope you're all having a great day today. Today guys, I just decided I'm going to read to you another excerpt from my book, Piracy. June 1st, 1719. Another brutal day had arrived like all the ones before, as I was forcefully and cruelly awoken by the cook with a thick black whip that always left me in a fiery pain even when it did not strike my gentle skin directly. My clothes showed signs of abuse with tears and stains of food and blood. I followed my daily duties as usual, but today would have a little bit of a different course, as I noticed when I was finishing mopping the deck of the ship. A pirate in the crow's nest shouted out, "Land ho!" The crew rushed to the front of the ship, pushing me out of the way and even spilling my bucket to look and see the land before them. They all had passed me, and I began to help myself back to my feet, but I found myself being lifted from the floor when I looked over my shoulder for a glimpse of what helped me to my feet. I saw John standing behind me and now taking me over to the edge of the ship to see the island. I resembled more of a small jungle with a giant rock in the center. When the ship was about 300 yards away from its destination, the crew lowered 6 launch boats. They filled them with lanterns, sacks, and chests, except for one which was left empty for Scar-Eye, soon to board with a few other pirates, including with John and myself. I was in cuffs. Once the remaining boats were filled and boarded with the crew, all 6 paddled towards the island. The remaining crew remained aboard the ship. I learned Scar was never a pirate to take chances of leaving his ship unattended. We approached the island and entered a small river, more like a stream, flowing as calm as a tiger stalking its prey. I looked all around, seeing nothing but jungle, so thick the light from the sun was barely visible. It felt like a gateway to the land of darkness where only bad things could happen. To make it more unsettling, I heard nothing. It was odd. I thought I would hear birds, the flow of water, or at least the wind. No, I only heard dead silence, and it sent an icy chill down my spine. I dared to look at Scar-Eye, only to have his emotionless stare send me even more fear into my soul. He didn't say a word, just watched the trees while his left hand grasped the golden hilt of a sword with a shiny red ruby right on top of it. I took a quick look at his sword and then looked right back at him. He caught my gaze and then looked down at his sword, staring at it just as he had the trees. I knew that look meant something, I just didn't know what. Like a snake lunging towards its prey, Scar-Eye pulled his sword from its scabbard, leaving only enough room for the thickness of a gold coin fit in the distance from the edge of the blade to my throat. The edge of the blade made me gasp for air with rapid breaths, and my heart raced faster and faster until I was sure it would stop. I wanted to back up. I wanted to jump in the river, but from out of the corner of my eye I could see John had his hand on his pistol, waiting for me to make any sudden movements. "Don't even move," John warned. My full attention turned back on Scar-Eye, who he had continued holding his sword in my direction. I thought, if you were going to kill me, why hesitate? Why continue to keep me around and have me a slave on your ship? Scar-Eye's face twisted in a malevolent smile, all while the blade remained the same distance from my throat. "You scared, James?" he asked. I didn't answer. "Answer your captain, boy," said John as he placed his musket right within point-blank range on the side of my head. "Yes, Captain," I said silently. "What was that?" Scar-Eye said with aggression. "Yes, Captain." He shook his head slightly. "Typical boy." He then moved the blade away from my throat and towards the left side of my face, grazing it along my cheek. "So tell me, James, have you ever seen what happens to a loaf of bread when you cut it?" "Yes, Captain." "Really? How about I show you just how perfect a slice can be when the blade has just the right edge?" Scar-Eye's smile grew, and I knew he could see the fear growing inside of me, like he was feeding on it. He suddenly laughed and pulled his sword away. "Ah, my blade is too good to spill the blood of a weakling like you. You deserve to be gutted with a rusty spoon, but then who would bring me my meals every day?" John gave a slight laugh as Scar-Eye signaled him to put his musket away and return his sword to its scabbard. "It seems that you actually have some use to you then again you will end up upsetting me just like all the others before. Horror filled my body, for I knew I must not let history repeat itself. I knew I had to do all in my power to stay alive until I could escape this nightmare. And that's all I have to say for this excerpt. I hope that it gives you guys more thought to buy this book and read it yourself. I highly recommend you do, especially if you're into pirates, because you will not be disappointed at all. It's filled with action and it's got a really fast pace. Once again, guys, thanks for listening to this excerpt from my book. Y'all stay safe. Remember, subscribe to this channel if you're not already subscribed, so that way you can be notified every time I post new content. Once again, guys, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Y'all stay safe and have a great day.